Alright, good morning YouTube. Today I'm going to be doing the fuel rail heat shield install. I'll post the part number for it in the description. But anyway, I'm doing it because I got a new header installed on here, and I noticed how much heat that all these wires for all these sensors was absorbing from just the air gaps right here from where the heat can escape from the header coming up. So I know a lot of people are saying that they have heat soak issues and all that, and I don't really have that because it's the Oregon coast, so it's pretty cold and gloomy most of the year. So I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it more for protection for the wiring from the heat coming out of there. And I have these louvers too, so kind of lets all the heat out. Except, like I said, the only thing I'm worried about is all these sensors that get heated up, because my throttle position sensor was super hot from just running it to break in the just the paint from when I painted the header. I know it's stainless steel, but I just painted it anyway just for a little extra protection there. So anyway, I'm gonna start tearing into this thing. This is the kit that I got. Comes with the fuel rail sleeve, so this will go wrap around the fuel rail. Obviously, to do all this properly, you have to remove all that, and then these little guys wrap around each individual injector. And it came with new injector O-rings, little screws. Not really sure what those are for. If I find out, I'll let you know, because I've taken that off a couple times and I don't remember taking out any screws like that. Maybe that's for a different model. And then the actual guard that goes on there, and it just fills all the gaps where the heat's gonna rise out. So I'll show you how that goes on, orientation and all that. So, but that's all that comes in the kit. Stuff kind of prevents just the heat from making contact with everything. So, alright, I'll get you set up and I'll take it all apart and show you how it goes on. Alright, so I got the fuel rail off, injectors on. I didn't remove the actual line because I don't have the tool. I needed to buy one, but I didn't. So anyway, I'll just modify the sleeve so that I'll just cut a slit so that this will go over it without having to take the fuel line off. Probably better anyway, so that way if you ever had to get to this, you didn't have to take the whole thing apart. But anyway, so fuel injectors are out. I just tested these not too long ago, so they're all good. I'll just change out all the O-rings. That one's seen better days. So probably time to change that anyway. But yep, so I'll get this cleaned up. I'll just rough it, or not rough it, but hit it with a scoring pad and just get all this corrosion off. And I marked my injector wires, just the front two and the back two, because you could pretty easily flip-flop those, and it'll still run, but it doesn't run good. So I just marked the front two and the back two. And then I was just kind of test fitting this just to see how good it was gonna fit, and it doesn't fit great. Honestly, they'd probably make a more expensive one, but you can see that these holes go on the studs coming out of the head. So 1, 2, 3, and it blocks. So it blocks this heat and this heat and this heat back here, which I'm sure it will. But you can see when you put this on. So when you put this on, you can see these two line up really good, and then this one is pretty far back. So this needed to be just, that much longer. It would have been better, but I think what I can do is, instead of cutting it, I think I think that hole will stretch pretty good. So I'll just start on that and pull it. Ooh, it ripped good. Anyway, now that it ripped, it'll go on real easy. Now, it'll be fine because it doesn't really need to block heat coming from the cylinder or from the valve cover. It's not really doing anything. So as long as it sits here and keeps the heat out of those, coming out of the gaps between the manifold and the exhaust, then I'm happy. I should have got the more expensive one, I guess. But this is gonna work just fine. So okay, there we go. So you can see everything lines up really good, except for that hole right there. Just needed to be a little bit longer and it would have worked. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut a little bit out of that too, so it's not touching that injector. So I don't know what the difference is there, but all right, that's fine. I guess I don't have to cut. I'll just kind of mold it. There we go. It's custom now. There we go. So you can see how that goes. Looks pretty good even after I ripped it. So that one's still gonna be a little off, but well, it's unfortunate, but that's fine. And you just kind of mold it down so that it keeps as much of the heat out as it can. Okay, so there's that. That part's in. Looks kind of ugly because I messed it up, but that's okay. It's a Jeep. It'll be fine. Man, I really don't like the way that fits. This will be covered from the actual rail here, so you won't actually see that, but I'll know. Alright, there we go. So, plenty of room there now. And then, if you are not taking your fuel line off, you're gonna want to pull your mounting bolts off here so that you have more room, wiggle room for your hard line there, so you don't bend anything. So now I'll get the cover on. I'll cut that slit and then get the cover on here. Well, you gotta pull the injectors out, and these injectors come out pretty easy. You just pull your little clips off here. That was one. And then once you pull that, this comes out pretty tight, but and you want to make sure you relieve the pressure in your fuel rail. I did it on the video, but I'm sure some of you will say, oh, you didn't pull your relay for your fuel pump and blah blah blah, but as long as you relieve the pressure here, it's not going to shoot fuel out of the injector and there will be no pressure there, so that's fine. And the fuel pump's not going to kick on randomly if the car's off, so no need to worry about that. Alright, so yeah, I'll finish pulling these out, clean this up, and then get that sleeve on there with the cut that I'm going to make, and then be good. Okay, so I'm pretty confident that when they manufacture this, they cut the holes on the wrong side. Just kind of silly, unless I'm thinking of it wrong. But so it should go like this with this small tab on your fuel rail side here. But when you do that and you look at it, there's no way possible that you're gonna get this bracket lined up with your fuel injector. Or actually, so it could go like this, right? But there's no way you're gonna get this fuel injector opening and this slot on this side. You're gonna rip it trying to do that. So, but if you flip it around, you could very easily slip that and then get those on there, and that would work. I'll just have to cut an opening for my pressure relief valve here, and I'll have to make this slot again on the other side. So I believe they did a manufacturing mistake on that. So I'll leave a review on their website, but unless I'm completely wrong, pretty sure this is backwards. So I'll make those modifications. I'm just gonna put this hole on this side and this hole on this side, and that'll work. So, all right, I'm gonna cut those and then get back to it. All right, so I got all my injectors all cleaned and new O-rings on. I took the screens out because they were deteriorated. I'll show you. So this is what I think the screws are for that they give you. So you just start it in there and take your screens out. These ones were kind of falling apart anyway. So I just took them out. I'll run them until I have a problem, but these screens are pretty old and dry rot, so they were just all flaking off anyway. You see how brittle they are, this break. So that's what I think those screws are for, but could be wrong. That's what I use them for. So now you just put your injectors. I'm gonna put them in the intake and then slip this on top of those. I find that to be a little easier. So got them all nice and put a little silicone grease on there just so the O-ring doesn't do anything weird. It actually fits really loosely. Hopefully they're the right size O-rings. Alright. Well, let's see. They fit on the injectors, but they fit pretty loosely in the intake, which is a little worrying. And I only say that because everything else that with this kit that I've had to put on hasn't really fit very good, so hopefully these don't leak fuel everywhere. Or maybe they're just so clean and new that they just fit perfect. Kinda doubt, but maybe. Alright, so those don't matter orientation, they're not like specific to the injector or to the port, so there's that. And then I'm just gonna slap this guy back on here. Oh wait, did I show you this done? I don't think I did. Yep, so this went on really good after I cut and modified it. Went on real nice. So you just get it close. Another thing you want to check and make sure is when you have it off, you want to make sure that you got all of your O-rings out of the rail and out of the manifold ports. I just cleaned mine pretty thoroughly the other day, so mine was really clean and nothing really stuck, so mine worked out pretty good. So that's how you get those on there. And then I'll just put my just fuel rail bolts back in, just to hold the pressure down on the injectors. And then I'll just start trying to wrap those things. The wrap looks like it's going to be way too big, so I think they're just going to kind of sit on there, which I don't really know is going to do anything as far as keeping heat out and whatnot. But I don't know. snug this up a little bit and then start getting the heat shields on the injectors. See how well it fits. There we go. Now the injectors won't fall out anyway. And then I guess I gotta put the clips on there, but I just wanted to see. So, these just wrap around each injector. It's got Velcro, so it's just gonna wrap around, but this seems pretty big. Pretty big around, and also seems pretty wide. I feel like these can be cut in half easily because it's not really, I mean, I guess technically it'll keep the heat from rising up into the injector, which I guess is what you want, but it seems a little excessively big. Because yeah, it's just gonna slip around and go like that. So, show you what I'm talking about. So that's all it's gonna do really. Is just sit around and wrap. I feel like it could be a little smaller, but that's okay. So I got to get my clips back on all the injectors, and then after I get the clips on, I'll get those on there and then get everything plugged back in and we'll be good to go. All right, everything's back on. You can see all the imperfections are pretty well hidden, so I guess it really doesn't matter that there were some cuts that had to be made, but it's all on here. Everything's serviceable. So yeah, turned out pretty good. It comes with 2 extra little heat guards, so I just throw them over my throttle position sensor and my idle air controller, just because those are the most exposed to the heat right here. Yeah, but everything turned out pretty good. Hopefully I don't have any fuel leaks. We'll see. Actually, I can put the key in right now and see. Pressurize the fuel rail. Check it out. Where's the keys? There. There we go. I don't see any fuel spraying out. Let's see if we got good fuel here yet. Should. So just getting the air out, and then I'll cycle the key again here, and then I'll repressurize. I'm gonna remove that speaker here one of these days. More air. Do it again. And I'll just do this till I get fuel. There we go. There's fuel. Cool. So there we go. Got all the air out. Alright, so there we go. No crazy fuel leaks. I don't see any actually. So So of course those little shields hide most leaks that you're going to be able to see anyway. But yeah, it went on pretty good. It'll definitely keep some heat off of the fuel rail, and off the injectors and off the sensors, so that's a plus. So yeah, thanks for watching.